I want you to think about the last habit you tried to build. Going to the gym, reading a book every day, or taking cold showers. How long did it last? A couple of days? A week maybe? And I guess every time you failed, you told yourself the same lie. I guess I don't have enough willpower. I used to think the same exact thing, and I was totally wrong. So this is what every self-improvement video tells you. Stick to the plan for 21 days and then the habit will just get automatic and no brain mode. So you try. Couple of days it's going great, maybe 3, 4, 5 days. But then something happens and you start back. You fall into the loop again. So then what happens? You go back to watching discipline videos instead of actually putting in the effort to maintain the new habit. The reason for which you keep failing is not that you're lazy. It's not that you don't have enough willpower or motivation. The problem here is what I call the identity conflict. Every time you try building a new habit, whether it's going to the gym, taking a cold shower, or reading a few pages of a book every day, your brain runs a quiet background check. So your brain asks yourself this one question: is this something that someone like me would be doing? And if the answer is no, your brain immediately rejects the new habit. Not because you're inherently weak, but because you're protecting your own identity. So think about it in this way. If you've spent the last years waking up at 11 a.m., watching Netflix till late in the night, eating chips, binge eating on marshmallows instead of going to the gym, your brain knows really well who you are and how you work, what your habits are and how you think. So when you suddenly start trying waking up at 5 a.m., taking a cold shower, running and going to the gym, your brain doesn't see that as challenge or improvement. It sees it as a threat, as a pure threat towards its safety. So what's happening right now is not that you're running out of willpower, it's just that you have an identity conflict with your old self, with what you've built in the past years. So the problem is that your habits, the habits you're trying to build, do not match who you currently are and how you currently see yourself. And until this dialectic changes, you will not be able to build new habits for sure. No amount of motivation videos or music or reading Atomic Habits will be able to explain how to build new discipline and new habits until you've resolved this identity conflict. And I'm not saying this to be harsh or rude, it's just I want to save you guys the months I wasted trying to understand this. Because the second I really understood that you have to solve this identity conflict before even trying to build new habits, then everything changed for me. So let me give you a real life example. For months, I called myself someone who was trying to get fit, someone who would have liked to get a good physique. And you can imagine, for sure, I had some gains, but my gains were directly proportional to how I thought of myself, to my self-image. Someone who's trying to get fit. What does this language tell to your brain? It tells us that fitness is something we're trying to attempt, something we're trying out, almost as if it's something outside your current identity. But thinking like this will ruin your gain and will not lead you to developing good habits. Consequently, your brain treats fitness as an optional thing if you're saying it's something I'm trying to stick to. So things change when you stop saying, I'm trying to run, and you start saying, I'm a runner. Because now you're forced to do things because it's part of your identity. It's rooted in your persona. So yeah, I ran a marathon, I hit my 100 kilo bench press goal, not because I was super disciplined or had an insane amount of willpower, but because my habits matched my identity. I was behaving accordingly with who I believed I was. And I was that person because of those habits. So you see, it's a mutual relationship between the two. Now, before you say this sounds as nonsense, I get it. It doesn't work like this. So you just don't stand in front of a mirror saying, yeah, I'm a runner, and not I'm trying to run, and then suddenly you can run a marathon. Of course, it does not work like that. Just saying it out loud won't change anything. But the moment you actually start thinking like this and behave accordingly, and your habits match your identity, then on the long run, you'll be able to build the habits that actually matter, which you really care about. So how do you actually close the identity conflicts? 3 simple steps. Step number 1, vote for who you want to be. Every action you take is a vote for your identity. Every time you go to the gym without feeling, without being in the mood, but you still do it, it's a vote for the identity you chose. Step 2, change what you say about yourself. Genuinely, just change language. Stop saying, I'm trying to eat better, and start saying, I don't eat junk food. Full stop. I do not eat junk food. But you have to be so convinced about this that you actually start believing it and act accordingly. Stop saying, I'm trying to wake up early, and start saying, I'm a person who wakes up early every day no matter what. Step 3, make your environment vote for you. If your phone is on your desk while you're trying to study, your environment is not voting for you, it's distracting you. It's giving you continuous stimulation to be distracted and to lose focus. And discipline really is not about being stronger than your environment. It's about building an environment that helps you grind towards your goals. For example, I don't have social media, not because I'm a hyper-disciplined person or a solo alpha male, because it was a distraction. So I eliminated it, not that deep. So here's what I want you to do right now. Not today, not tomorrow morning, right now. Get a pen and a sheet of paper and write down one goal you are really, really passionate about and you really care about, but you had problems achieving. Then ask yourself, does this goal actually match my identity? Does this achievement match who I believe I currently am? And if the answer is no, that's your problem. You have identified very clearly what the problem is. Your goal doesn't match your identity, so you've got to change your identity accordingly. So the problem for most of you guys is a mismatch between goals and identity. Once you'll fix that, you'll thank me. See you in the next one.